So, welcome back. Excuse the arrows. This is episode 7 of Hearthside. Thank you for joining me, and we're going to finish the Wizard's Tower today, and we're going to go over the tools of the trade when it comes to becoming a really powerful wizard. Also, I planted a cherry tree. Doesn't it look nice? Let's get started. I am not going to lie. Getting the facade for the outside on this second portion was a lot harder than I expected. It just took me ages to get the kind of outside rim up there to match this rim down here, and I really liked this rim down here, so yeah, it took me a little bit. Next up, what are we putting in there? Magic tools, as it says. So I'm gonna stick some windows in. There we go. This time we're using the fancy cyan stained glass panes. I just like the way those look. I really do wish they connected on walls, up and down, but they just don't. And the fact that this is lit up from the floor is quite nice. But yeah, that opens outwards. I'm not sure if I want to put slabs over it. I think I might. And make it a bit of a raised area. Oh, it cuts off all light. That's not what I was intending. Maybe trapdoors instead? There, that keeps in some of the light. So, while we're making up these floors, let's see what our ceiling should be. It's quite a lot of purple and gold in here. So I'm thinking I actually want the ceiling to maybe be a blue. And I do not have osirine, but I do have viridium. And I'm thinking this layered viridium might be a good idea. I hope it connects. It does. Perfect. That's looking a touch oppressive. Let's vault the ceiling just a touch. That feels better. That feels much better. Should we add this, or is it going to make the ceiling a little too busy? I think it's fine. I think it's fine this way. And adding a few more of those at the edges really clusters things together. Perfect. We might also add just one sort of light. Thank goodness I gathered some aluminum while I was looking for the ochrum. So we're going to make an RGB lantern lamp from Zycraft. And that requires aluminum, some glass blower stuff, dyes, glass, kiwi, and some gems. Some zirconium gems, to be exact. And to make the lamp that I want, we are going to have to put all of that lantern lamp into the stone cutter. And you can see we can get a flush lamp, and we can get these pillar lamps. And I'm going to go for a pillar lamp and put it right there. I like that. It adds just a little dainty touch of light. And as an added bonus, if I wanted to, I could take some purple dye, because we're going with the purple theme, and I can dye that. Yes, that's perfect. Now let's talk about the tools of a wizard after I accept that quest. The tools of a wizard include wands and swords, bows, mirrors, shields. You can get belts, jars, amulets, all of that. So I'm going to make displays and such for all of these pieces. And I'm going to make these pieces. We'll also talk about what they can do. The caster's wand accepts like a single spell, and you have to use the scribe's table. They have to have a spell that does not have like another method. Wand spells also always start with projectile accelerate. This allows you to cast spells beyond the 10 spell cap. So, in other words, if you have a spell you use all the time, like I use Fell all the time, I can put this on an enchanter's wand, and instead of using my spell book and a slot on my spell book, I can use this piece instead. So, it takes some logs, air essence, manipulation essence, a bunch of source gems, and gold. So, we're gonna go grab all of those things and make it up And we're going to figure out how we want to display it in here and work with it. Of course, I like the pedestals, but I'm thinking we may want to go with another route. Another few routes, maybe. Because that's a lot of purple. It's a lot of purple. And there we are. Can you hold this? You can. It doesn't look very good. Unfortunately. Well, looks like pedestals it is, although I do want to check if the sword pedestal might be a thing. Nope, swords only accept swords. Figured that. Just wanted to double check. There is a sword, and I wonder if it qualifies. So instead we're going to go with some of these other pedestals from Reliquary Reincarnations. Or, actually for this one, I think I'll just take the Supplementaries pedestal, drop it down here, and put my Enchanter's Wand on it. That'll do. Now for our next piece, the Enchanter's Sword. It allows me to attach a touch spell to the sword. All spells on the sword gain 1 additional Amplify Augment to the last effect on the spell. To apply a spell to the sword, you gotta use the Scribe's table, create the spell without using a form. And this requires diamond, blocks of gold, and source gem blocks. Right, so we needed 2 gold blocks, 2 source gem blocks, a diamond, and a diamond sword. And there we are on the Enchanter's Sword. Again, it needs a touch spell, but we will do all of that configuring later. For now, let's see if it fits in the sword pedestal. It kind of does. It looks a little funky. I think it may have to go into pedestals, guys. How about you, little statue? Do you hold it interestingly, or... Nope, that's not gonna work either. Let's go with the Reliquary Reincarnation one. Still has a ton of purple. We'll work with it. So next up is the Enchanter's Bow. It can be inscribed with a spell using the Scribe's table. At the cost of mana, arrows will become spell arrows and will apply the spell on their target. If you have no arrows, a spell arrow that deals 0 damage will be cast. If there is not enough mana, regular arrows will be fired instead. The Enchanter's Bow can also use special augment arrows that empower the inscribe spell. So we need a source gem block, a block of gold, and manipulation essence along with a bow to make that. And of course this one is probably only going to fire like projectile spells. Again, it's a way to reduce your spellbook load. There we go. There's those 3. Now, the Enchanter's Shield. When blocking damage, it will give the user mana regen and spell damage for a short amount of time. Additionally, the shield will repair itself over time using the user's mana, so you never have to worry about the durability on your shield. Of course, more blocks of gold, a shield, and more source gem blocks. I'm going to end up running out of gold, probably. That's fine, though. And there we are. This is definitely useful for somebody who uses a shield. I am terrible about using shields. Oh no, I need to get more quartz. We're going to make a leap spell before we go into the nether. We're going to do self, then leap, and I'm actually going to make an amplify, I think, as well. Amplify requires a diamond pickaxe, which I should have already. I do. And one last thing. That's the second time I've put my Enchanter's Eye onto the table. Bounce. I hope we have everything for this. We have all the slime, we just need the Abjuration Essence, which I can go grab. And that's why we automated the essences. Oh my goodness, it's storming. Let's get there and get back quickly. And there we go. And now I have Bounce. Now, this is a great spell. I love it. I just increase the Amplify by a few. And then we hit Bounce. And now I can jump very high and then bounce upon hitting the ground, taking no fall damage. That's an easy, fun way of getting a very basic form of flight? Not really flight, I wouldn't say, but you know. Now let's head to the Nether Tower. Oh, I'd already made my way out of this. That's fine. Let's go get us some quartz. There's some oh goodness. No, I'm on fire and I can't get out. Oh goodness. I made it. Oh. Leap can get you out of some tight spots. It can also get you into a few if you're not careful. Now, you see how far my mana drops? That little purple bar? Every time I use that spell, it's quite a bit. However, we can up that later. We'll be using armor to do that. Also, that bounce stays on you for a while, so don't feel hesitant to jump around a little. Very useful for getting around terrain like the Nether has. A ghast must have attacked this area pretty badly. There's fire everywhere. I also needed more glowstone. So I'll grab some of that. Well, I'm out of pickaxe. Time to go home. And the enchanter's shield goes on that. Ooh, I like that, how that looks. I like quite a bit how that looks. Wonderful. And the supplementaries pedestal. We're just going to keep this matching. The next thing is the enchanter's mirror. It will apply a self spell when used. Spells cast with this mirror are discounted and they gain additional bonus duration. To apply a spell, use a scribe's table and create a spell without using a form, as usual. And we need manipulation essence glass, logs, archwood logs, gold, and a source gem block for that. Little bit demanding on it, but that's all right. And there we are. And we'll put this one there. Very nice. Now, I'm probably going to end up putting my leap spell onto that and using it. I might not, though. Next up, we're going to go with the rings of discount. There's a ring of lesser discount and a ring of greater discount. I'm going to need 4 diamonds, 2 ender pearls, 2 source gems, and a ring of potential. Now, the ring of potential is made with 1 source gem encircled by iron nuggets. There's the ring of potential. I'm going to make a second ring of lesser discount because it takes one of them and I want to keep it. There we go. There's my 2 rings of lesser discount. Now we need to make a ring of greater discount. And we'll need some blaze rods for that. I swear that I have blaze rods in here. Excellent. And we just replace the ender pearls with blaze rods for the ring of greater discount. Excellent. And that can go in a ring slot, which I might have available. I, in fact, do, so I am going to equip that and make another one. There we are, and if you're wondering if I just sacrificed diamonds for decoration, I did. So, ring of lesser discount, ring of greater discount. Beautiful, beautiful. And we will accept those quests, thank you. Next up, we have amulets. I'm going to need to add more statues, or more pedestals. That's fine. Now for the amulets, we have an amulet of mana boost. It gives you plus 50 max mana. And we have the amulet of mana regen. It will also give plus 3 mana regen. So if you have a few necklace slots available, then these are excellent. We're going to make the dull trinket. 3 diamonds and 5 source gems are what we need for the mana boost. And some golden source gems with some diamonds for the mana regen. Do I have some necklace slots available? I've got 1. And 1 for a heart amulet. I might take off the cross necklace. I think it would probably be best. I've also got a curio slot left. So if I put this in my ring slot, I may be able to fit both necklaces on me. Excellent. Which means I have to make a few of these. And there's the necklace of mana regen. So I will equip that in a curio slot. And here's the amulet of mana boost. And here's our 2 amulets. Mana boost and mana regen. Wonderful. I'm liking how this is turning out. Now we're going to do jars. And I think I'm going to put the jars on shelves rather than pedestals. The Jar of Light summons a floating light source that follows you, and the Jar of Voiding destroys items you pick up in exchange for mana. This can be filtered. To add or remove an item to be destroyed by the jar, use the jar with the item in your offhand, or use an item on the scribe's table with the jar placed on it. It must be in your hotbar to function. Honestly, the Jar of Voiding might be kind of useful, but I don't think I'm going to end up using these. Oh no, I need glowstone. And redstone. Lamps. Alright, well, we'll get that started. We need 4 glowstone, 2 redstone lamps, 2 glass. It's a good thing that I collected that glowstone in the nether earlier. And, of course, a glass bottle. We're using our enchanting apparatus quite a bit today, and I am liking the wide open log feel. And there is our Jar of Light. And our Jar of Voiding needs lava, item scrolls, soul pearl, and a bucket. I'm glad I have a lava bucket. Didn't think I would. It actually probably just needs an ender pearl of any type. And an item scroll. Gonna need more mage bloom fibers. So empty bucket, lava bucket, pearl, item scroll, and jar. Well, glass bottle. And there we go, our Jar of Voiding. And I'm going to use these arcane pedestals. And I'm going to make them short. I still want some shelves. So we're going to get some stairs. And we're going to put those right here with the arcane pedestals behind them. And the jars. That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. Now, for the Belt of Levitation, have you ever just wanted to hover everywhere you go? This belt allows you to levitate. To activate, just sneak while in the air, either while falling or jumping. That requires an air essence, 3 feathers, 4 gold, and a mundane belt. So let's grab out some leather. And the Belt of Unstable Gifts requires quite a few things, but we'll go over that in a second. Let's do the other belt. The Belt of Levitation. And I have tried using the Belt of Levitation before. I don't know if I'm bad at it. It does not work for me in a way that can be called expected. Let's grab some air essence and some feathers. Thank goodness I have enough feathers. And there we are. Besides, I like my kind of flight spell quite a bit more, to be honest. Should we repeat that over here? That look? I think so. And we'll put that belt over there. Now, what all do I need for this one? Sugar, netherwort, blaze rod, glowstone dust, fermented spider eye. Oh, I ran myself out of sugar. Hopefully I have sugar cane up top. I don't. That's not the greatest. Well, time to quickly hunt down some sugar cane. Alright, I'm back. Redstone dust, brewing stand, feather. You know, if I place these, it might be easier for me to sort it all out. Now, the Belt of Unstable Gifts gives a random positive potion effect for a short duration. They can vary in strength, but that would drive me crazy after a while. Just randomly going invisible or something like that. So we're gonna put that up. I think our room of tools is done. Now, if you guys have any clues on what I should put on each item, the Enchanter's Mirror is probably going to have the leap spell on it. But other than that, the other items are pretty enchantable. So if you guys have any ideas on what I should put on what, feel free to leave it in the comments because I am curious to see what you guys do. I could see the Enchanter's Bow being very useful at just throwing ridiculously powered damaging spells like explosives. But unfortunately, that's really all I could see it being used for me. Well, we're approaching the top, and I'm seeing that the sails really are going to have to come off the ship. It's okay, we don't need to go anywhere with it, so I'm going to get rid of those, and then we'll continue on with the top floor, which will be the bedroom, and where we're going to summon any of our familiars. Right, so I got those sails taken off, and I'm thinking I want to do cherry wood for this floor. Yes. Because we're going to go in an ombre. It's going to be dark purple, then it's going to be like a magenta, then it's going to be a pink, with a little bit of viridium sprinkled all over. And of course, ochrum. I have exactly one cherry sapling. That's alright. So, in the case you do use the Enchanter's Eye and this setup, and for some reason you can't access anything, it's because of the bookworm. I just figured it out. I love you to death. And there we go. Now it'll work. Yep. Well, good to know. I am going to put a leash on him. Or a lead. Or, of course, you could put like a tunnel where it accesses this. To where he can't. Where is he? Of course, right when I'm about to put a lead on him, he runs. And flies off. Oh, there he is. You're gonna stay leashed up back here. I've been wondering about that and never just come up here and looked at it. What did I need? Oh, the chisel. There we go. I can pick a little bit more soothing of a tone. Or apparently creepy. Exceedingly creepy. Knotted. K sign. Oh, I, F, M. Is there an H? Well, I'm feeling this edge-stripped cherry log. So we're going to give that a try. Yes, that's a much, much more soothing tone. Oh, yes. You know, I may actually switch out those cherry logs at the end there, or in the middles, to that archwood planks. I think that would look really good. Right. So, because I wanted a balcony for each floor, and we have a share stone in the garden, a share stone over on that balcony on the second floor, I'm going to put one out the front. Front? Kind of the front. Over here. Kind of like following the ship a bit. And I would like it to be kind of a dainty, oval-shaped look. Hang on, let's actually check out what we're going to be viewing from there. So it'll be over towards that sort of rocky area, and if I put one facing over there, I'll be looking at bamboo jungle. If I were to put it behind, I would be facing that more kind of pretty area over there. It's kind of tempting. But I think I'd prefer it to be facing the innards of this island. And also checking out our new gazebos over here. Wait, I can do warp modifiers? What does that mean? I think I'm gonna stick with the Fancy Cyan stained glass. And this time go floor to ceiling windows. Perfect. We're going to have to work out what type of roof we're going to want for this bedroom and if we have an attic. I think I'm going to incorporate more viridium into the roof. Or maybe I should go osirine? Or crimsite. Do I have a lot of osirine? I do not. I do have a lot of crimsite and viridium. Let's go with crimsite, actually. I should put a stonecutter near my mine. There we go. I think I want a ceiling trim too, but this one is definitely going to be viridium. Well, I think 90% of the outside is done. It doesn't look that impressive from down here. But I'm liking it from right here, on top of this tree. That's nice. So, now for the inside of the bedroom, and we should be getting done. Next time, I think we're going to make up a nice set of familiars and a space to summon them. You know what? I was going to make that an attic, but looking at it, that's a cool vaulted ceiling. So we're going to keep it. And then we're going to go in here and steal all this Viridian back and make an actual trim out of it because it does not look great raw. That does look better, although it is still very dark in this bedroom. But that's fine. We can set up some lights in a second. I'm not sure what yet. Oh, I love those lime lamps so much. Actually, you can place them all sorts of ways, by the way. In the case that I didn't show you this before, you can place them like that. They look very nice, old-fashioned. You can, of course, place them on the wall like I did earlier, and they look like that. But I think I'm going to see about placing these downward facing, ceiling-wise. Okay, I like that. They look like books. And that gives so much light to this room. Wonder if you can place them in a different orientation. Now, of course, we need a bed. And I think I'm actually going to close off a bit of this area. So let's take out this glass. And let's put amethyst there instead. And I want to make a sort of like encased bed look. Right, so I've decorated the inside. I put those lamps up. I put the spore blossoms in. I made a small kitchen. I'll need to fill up that cauldron. I might put a painting up here too. But we did just a few decorations around. Gave myself a little dining space and a improvement / crafting area and a beautiful bed. Oh my goodness, I am so happy with how this tower turned out. I think it is beautiful. I think it works with the ship, even though it's a little close. It's a touch close, I'll admit. But I like it. I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. But I think that's all we have time for today. Next time, we're going to finish out this little island, get ourselves some familiars, and see what else we're wanting to work on. We've almost got Ars Nouveau completed out. I'm sorry. We've almost got Ars Nouveau completed out. And let's take a look at our quests, actually. We have gotten the basics of Ars Nouveau up, and I am very excited to finish out that quest line. So, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.